You're welcome to the second part, which is the upper body of the character. So, the first thing we'll be doing is, I think, let's first clear every keyframe from these controls. So, let's clear everything. Okay, let's move to the first one. So, the first part we'll be animating is the body here. So, we want to make sure that, okay, when this leg is down, then the opposite part of the body should also follow. It should be, just the y-axis will follow. So when the y-axis follows, um, we can now just copy this one. That's Shift D. Then you move it to the last one. Then you paste. That's you copy. Then you paste inverse. That's paste the inverse here. So we can see it's moving according to plan. But we can do it in such a way that, okay, the upper part of the body actually arrived late. That's let's go, arrived late. So let's check our graph editor. Let's check. So and we can just select all. Then we'll move it forward a frame. Press G, then X to constrain it on the x-axis. So move it up a frame. So it will still continue rotation and get into there. So, but remember to, okay, let's just do for the upper part. Let's press A, then Shift E, make it cyclic. So it will flow back normally. Then the downward part, check our x-axis and our y rotation. So we'll set a key here. Then you move it up a little bit. Then you do the same. I always love to favor the contact because when it's rotating, that's when it's leaving the contact or going into the contact, it slows down. And when it's going out also, it also slows down, such that the movement wouldn't be that abrupt. So we can see the upper part will actually rotate more. If you like, we can actually go more. Let's try it. If it doesn't look good, then we return it. Sorry. So G, then X. Take it up for 2 frame. So it's looking good. So in such a that it will actually continue rotation even after the lower part has stopped moving and stopped rotating to the opposite part. So then after this one, we can actually that's use the translate up and X to give it some squash and stretch. So check your translates, that's translate Y. Then want to do it in such a way that, okay, here it's going down. So we take the body down a little bit. Press A, then frame all. Then at the down pose, you can do it in such a way that it will go down more, not too much. I think it's too much. So take this up. So going forward, so it's going up now. We can translate it up a little bit. Then at frame 8, let's take it up to the highest point. So let's press A, then you frame all. Then you copy this, then it's Control C. Then that's Control V, then you paste. So looking at this now, you can actually notice some up and down movement, but I think it's too much. So let us select all, then you press S, then Y to scale it down. Then for you to actually make everything on the same frame, let's take it forward a little. That's G, then X also to move it forward, then press Shift E to make it cyclic. Shift it. Okay. We forgot to copy. Then paste. Sorry. Paste. So make sure it's continuous. So we can actually notice this question stretch. If you think it's too small, just scale this up if you want. So for the so now I think we can now go to that's the hand. Then from the hand we move to the neck. So for the hand now, we can start posting. So looking at our reference, we can bend this down. Then we notice, okay, the elbow is actually up. Yeah. So bend this, then we may actually straighten this a little bit. Then we set a keyframe here also. You can see we can actually bend the hand backward. So then for the other hand, looking at our reference, you can see the elbow is down. So rotate this on the Y axis. Then rotate it forward. If you think it's too much, you can just bring it backward a little bit. So with this now, also for the arm, do we need to bend it? Maybe let's bend it more. Then for here, we can actually twist it more. So with this now, you can just select all these parts. Okay, before that, let us make sure this shoulder here is down when it's at the back. You can push it backward. Make sure it's down, not too down. So and for this one, for the other part, when it's front, let's take it up. I want to show that contrast. You can actually rotate the chest to exaggerate this one more. So for this one now, we take it up, and we take it front. So I think it's too much. So it's showing in the body. So with this one now, we can actually just copy all these controls. Let's key everything. Then we can shift D to take it to the last frame. Then for here, we can just copy this pose, then go to frame 10, then flip post, and that's flip the opposite. So this is how it will look like. So if you think it's not enough for you, you can actually do the adjustment. You can take the hand anyhow you want it. So for this one, yeah, we don't want to break it too much. So you can take this back. That's gimbal issue right there. So on doing this now, you can notice I want to make sure it's same. Shift D. and paste it here. So on doing this now, we want to start adding like some that's drag. That's when the hand is going forward. We want to try and drag the wrist. That's the forearm. Sorry. So when the hand is going forward, you take it back here. So here you open it up. Make sure it doesn't overlap with the previous frame. If not, there will be some problem with your stuff. So here also we open it up. So that when the upper part of the body hand is moving, it's moving to the front. There will be drag and there will be drag on it. So let's close it up. So let's close it up. And we can maybe open it up here. So you can notice there's drag. So in case you feel the drag is not too much, is not okay, so you can just press G, then you delay it a little bit. So you see the upper part of the body will actually move first, then the other one will follow. So the same for the wrist also. You can delay. That's when it's going forward. You take it back. So here you take it back using the X. Then when it's now going back, you twist it backward. Then here we can take it backward also. So in case you feel it's not okay, you can still just move it forward also. Even to let's try to frame. Then press Shift C, make sure everything is cyclic. If not, there may be each some of your movements. Press Shift E, make sure it's cyclic. So we can see there's actually some drag going on here. Then for the hand, you can post it. You can make it look like a fist. We can actually do that later. So you can do the same for this part of the hand also, for me not to make this tutorial too long. So for the neck, when we do the same thing we did with this one. So when you're going down, let's take it down. So when that's still going down, so take it down. So now when you're going up, you give it some height. So let's assume we're doing it at 8. So increase forward. So let's copy this. That's Ctrl C, paste. Then you copy this, Ctrl C. Then you paste. So the head will actually be going up, but due to it's going up the same time, we may not actually notice it. So let's just offset it. So you notice some up and down movement on the neck, so it will not just look stiff. So the same for the, let's go for the head rotation now. We want to do it in such a way that okay, it's always looking front. So set the keyframe here. So set a keyframe here and set a keyframe here. So when it's going down, you want to bend it down, so there will be drag when it's going down. So that's when it's going up, then you take it up. Sorry, just the X axis. So you can copy this. That's Ctrl C, then paste. So we can actually go to the graph editor. If we think the the X movement is X rotation is too much, press A. Then if you think it's too much, you can just select all. Then you press that's S and Y to scale on the Y axis. Then press Shift A to make sure it's cyclic. So make sure there's no discontinuity that's in the course. So, and also for this one, for it to arrive late, you can move it forward also. So, but if you think it's still too much, you can just press and that's Shift Y, then you reduce it. So that's it for it. So for the Y rotation, so for the Y rotation now, we want to make sure, okay, for the Y rotation, press A and F. So that's for the Y rotation. We don't know what this is, so let's just cancel that. Press X to cancel. So here, and want to make sure, okay, want to make sure that the Y, okay, it's 0, nothing. Just press I. Sorry, just press I here. Then the same for here. Press I. Then 10. Press I. So for Y now, when it's facing, that's when this leg at front, want it to face here a little bit. So we just press A, then F, then we'll copy this to frame 19, then we'll paste it also on frame 10, then we right click, then mirror value over value, then we can see how it's looking now. But in case we want to slow things down a little bit, we can actually just set a keyframe here, set a key here, sorry, set a key, so A to frame all, then you can actually move this to favor the contact. Then here also you set a key here, you set a key here, then you favor this. Then we can still probably offset things a little bit here. So make sure when you want to offset, you've done your timing in such a way that okay, you don't need to retime everything. Don't offset when you're still maybe trying to get things maybe keyed or you're still doing your blocking. Don't offset because it can actually make your timeline look okay, really rough. Let me show you ours now. You see how things are like really rough. So make sure you're done with your timing before you start offsetting keys, because seriously it can actually give you a lot of problem. That's if you offset key at maybe blocking or first pass stage or whatever. So these are the things you need to do. So with this one now, I think we are done with the leg and with everything now. So for this eyes that's moving and that's not following the head, you can just go to that's your rig. Then you that's check your screw down, and that's face settings, and that's the high target. Make sure it follows the head. So when you look at the head, the high now it's not shifting everywhere. So, and again, you can actually just to make sure everything look good, you can just when you are in post mode. So we want to see the eyes control. Where's the eyes control? So this is the eyes control. You can just move it in such that it's not like a zombie. So we can see now these are our work circle. So with this now, I think we'll come to the end of the tutorial. I'll finish all, then I'll show you the final product. The only thing we'll do is just maybe copy this onto the other side, or just include it and the drag and follow through here.